With apologies to my panelists for the slight delay in starting debate number 4 tonight on the Newshour, Pavan Verma of the JDU, Derek O'Brien of the TMC, Sanjay Jha of the Congress, Sambit Patra of the BJP. Magar mera pehla sawal, my first question is to Dinesh Kamath. He's the All India Organizing Secretary of Sanskriti Bharti. He's very much an activist for Sanskrit and he has made this comment. Dinesh ji, आपने एक comment किया है जिसको मैं English में translate करता हूँ. You say, how can you be Indian without knowing Sanskrit? आप बिना संस्कृत जाने भारतीय कैसे हो सकते हैं? तो इसका तो बहुत सीधा जवाब है, मैं भारतीय, मैं I can be an Indian without knowing Sanskrit because nowhere in the constitution is it written that I need to know Sanskrit to be Indian. Nowhere in the constitution is it written that Sanskrit is the only language which imparts rights, samskaras which you believe in. आप कहते हैं सही संस्कार जो है वो संस्कृत पढ़ने से होते हैं. ये तो कहीं लिखा नहीं है, तो संस्कृत का इतना पुश क्यों और इस सरकार में?
हाँ, संस्कृत भारत की भाषा है. संस्कृत भाषा सीखने से भारतीय भाषी लोग जो हैं उनके मन में जो अच्छे भाव पैदा होते हैं, अच्छे संस्कार आते हैं. इसीलिए ही डॉक्टर अंबेडकर ने 1949 सितंबर 10 उन्होंने हमारे भारतीय राज्यांग रचना सभा में, कॉन्स्टिट्यूंट असेंबली में रेजोल्यूशन लाया था, लेट संस्कृत बी द ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज ऑफ इंडिया. इसीलिए मैं तो एक संस्कृत भारती नाम की एक संस्था का मैं अखिल भारत संगठन मंत्री हूँ. संस्कृत सब जगह लाना चाहिए, आना चाहिए. ये इसके लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, मगर आपका आपकी आप जो कहते हैं वो काफी पॉलिटिकल है. आप कहते हैं कि संस्कृत
सभी
और एक मिनट
देखिए और सभी भारतीय संस्कृत सीखें. सभी भारतीय, केवल छात्र नहीं, सभी भारतीय. ये इसमें क्या गलत क्या है?
ये गलत नहीं है, मगर फिर लोगों को ये भी कहें कि तमिल के लिए भी पुश करें. तमिल जो है वो भी एक बहुत ही पुराना और ऐतिहासिक लैंग्वेज है. तो आप कहते हैं भारतीय संस्कृति समझी जाती है संस्कृत से. नहीं, एक ही लैंग्वेज को करेंगे इतने डाइवर्स देश में, तो कंट्रोवर्सी तो होगा.
सभी भारतीय भाषा, मैंने वी आर नॉट अगेंस्ट अदर लैंग्वेजेस. सभी भारतीय भाषा सीखना चाहिए, अपनी मातृभाषा सीखना चाहिए. हाँ, मातृभाषा मत सीखिए, नहीं, मातृभाषा सीखना चाहिए.
देयर इज अ पुश फॉर संस्कृत. There is an absolute push for Sanskrit. Okay, let's take the contrary view. Let's take the contrary view. Let's get Pavan Verma into the debate. Pavan Verma, is pushing Sanskrit necessarily saffronization? Have you got it wrong? Have many people got it wrong? They say we are pushing a language, not a religion, not a religious ideology there.
Arnab, any move by any government to further empower and provide respect to any of our languages is something I support, and that includes Sanskrit. My worry, however, is twofold. The first is that the projection of Sanskrit can be misused, as we have already seen in what Mr. Kamath has said and others have spoken also, can be misused by half-literate evangelical zeal for communal purposes by claiming that Sanskrit is the only language of culture and that any achievement that happened in ancient India has never been paralleled by science today. In other words, to say that India's history stops in the 10th century AD and Sanskrit as the language which was prevalent then is the only language which
I didn't tell Sanskrit is the only language.
Culture.
I didn't tell Sanskrit is the only language.
Let me just finish, sir. So please allow me to finish. So I am afraid
all the Indian languages,
in spite of the best
all the Indian languages,
which I support, please allow me, sir, which I support. It's time for us to give respect to our own languages in a far greater measure than in the past. But I am afraid that in the hands of these evangelists, the whole purpose will be defeated. Secondly, Arnab, I just want to make a short point. It's much better to use persuasion to persuade our youth today to opt for languages like Sanskrit than to give it a prescriptive tone and to say that all foreign languages are banned. We must make a curriculum for the teaching of Sanskrit which is attractive, link it to a window to our culture without chauvinism and without this Hindutva ideology influence.
That is the
I
point.
doubt very much because
Definitely.
there are so many half-literate evangelists.
Definitely.
The question is you talk about half-literate evangelists. 1 second. Where was Pavan Verma for the last 5 years? Where was Sanjay Jha for the last 5 years? And where was, by the way, welcome to the program, since he comes occasionally nowadays at intervals and not on the subjects I want always, Derek O'Brien. Where was Derek O'Brien till recently? Because Derek O'Brien never spoke a word, neither did any of you, when German was made the third language of this country. Because of an activist German government and an activist German ambassador, for a long time, German was made the third language in this country. So German can be taught almost compulsorily in a way in Kendriya Vidyalayas, not French or Spanish, which is spoken more globally around the world. Sanskrit can be ignored.
But whenever you allow me or not.
No, but Sanskrit,
Yes,
I allow you now. I allow you now. You and Derek have a lot to answer for. My point to both of you is Sanskrit is a part of our cultural history. It's not a Hindutva issue. Right? It's a part of our cultural history. You're making it a Hindutva issue. Sanjay, have you run short of ideas?
No.
No, okay, Derek goes
Well,
first. Derek
Arnab,
goes
first
first.
and
Derek
foremost,
goes
please
first.
add in your discussion one of... Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Derek,
I think,
go ahead.
Arnab, before we get into whether Sanskrit and German and all that, spare a thought for the 70,000 students who have been studying German. This has happened to them mid-term. Forget about the debate about German, Sanskrit, English. The kids are in the middle of their term. So my first major issue with this, it could have been handled, the timing is wrong. If you wanted to do this, you could have gone about it in not such a hurry-scurry manner. It's the same issue when it came to UPSC also. There also there's a big problem.
Fine.
Day after tomorrow there's an all-party meeting which has been called to resolve that language issue.
Why?
Let us look at this
What is
debate
the problem
through the
with
prism,
Sanskrit? Is
through the
Sanskrit
eyes of those
saffronization?
70,000 students.
It is, Arnab.
Those 70,000 students who are midstream, they've been thrown off the language. Now what do?
Derek, come to the point. My question is, how is pushing Sanskrit saffronization? How is it part of a Hindutva agenda? You can't prove it clearly, so I go to Sanjay Jha. How does it equate into Hindutva culture? You study Sanskrit, you push Sanskrit, the government pushes Sanskrit. How is it putting a Hindutva agenda? That's my question. Sanjay Jha, you have an answer to that?
Derek, just give me a minute. Yes, I do. I think the point, a very alarming development that you need to share with your viewers on Newshour today is that there is an attempt being made now to also make private schools compulsorily do Sanskrit. Now that is what is really the fanaticism of this culture of saffronization that we are discussing on your panel today. So there is an attempt here to clearly infiltrate.
So you are a fanatic if you push Sanskrit.
Discuss this on your program very often. But let's accept the truth. There is a draconian coercive
National
measure
Policy
being
of
employed
Education,
to spread
1968.
Sanskrit.
No, what
There's
Sanjay Jha,
Can I speak?
Dinesh
Mr.
Kamath is taking you on.
Mr. Kamath, please let me finish. Let me finish. No, but he can't take me on until I've finished. For God's sake, let's have some equity. Now, the point I'm making here, we all know that the RSS is running the HRD ministry. Dinanath Batra, Baba Ramdevs of the world are having a significant impact on the way that ministry is running. Unfortunately, and the truth of life, and we cannot ignore it, that the Prime Minister of India talks of Lord Ganesha and a plastic surgery at that point of time.
So
there is an attempt to bring mythology, overtake medical science, and no, let me tell you, Sanskrit is our classical heritage. It's a classical language. And I think the point that Pavan was making, that when you discuss a classical ancient language, you are actually trying to give it a complexion and a character and a color of what you call religion. And that is exactly the fears which are very justified. And tell me, why are the parents going to Supreme Court? And I think Derek made a very valid point.
Dinesh Kamath,
the classical Indian language.
Dinesh Kamath.
And by the way, all Kendriya Vidyalayas all Kendriya Vidyalayas were very happy to adopt German. The students are happy. And by the way, Sanskrit
as per our constitution,
but it should be left flexible.
As per our constitution, Sanskrit is among the modern Indian language. Go to the NCERT paper.
Where does it say that you have to
Sanskrit is one among the modern classical as well as modern Indian language. जैसे तमिल है, जैसे तमिल है, तमिल classical भी है, modern भी है, वैसे संस्कृत भी.
No, but what is the Sanskrit is a 3,100 to 3,700 year old language. No, one second, Pavan Verma, let Sambit answer this. You know, I don't know. But you pass on Sanskrit to the next generation. Now only 20,000 people speak it. If tomorrow 1 lakh people, 2 lakh people, 1 million people speak Sanskrit, what's wrong? I mean, why? Where does German come in? I want to ask Pavan Verma or Derek, is German an Indian language? German to क्यों पढ़ाया जाता है?
Can I come in the debate, or if I'm not required, I can just be a mere spectator.
Sambit बोल रहे हैं, कुछ बोलिए.
Arnab, if you do not need me for the debate, I have no problem being a mute spectator. I have
Go
no
ahead,
problem with it.
Sambit.
By many states as the third language.
Yes. If at all this Sanjay Jha can stop, I can go ahead. Yes. Yeah, Arnab, let me begin with a light note. Yes. Can I begin with a lighter note by understanding as to why our TMC friend is afraid of Sanskrit? He is probably afraid of Sanskrit because Sanskrit has a dreaded word called as Sarada. So I can well understand as to why Derek is afraid of the word Sanskrit. But anyhow, now coming to the point, Sanjay Jha, I have a serious question for you.
Very
the nation
funny.
has serious
I am
questions
so
for
amused.
Sanjay Jha. I have in front of me an MOU. I have in front of me an MOU which does away with the constitutionality of the country. Just a second. I have an MOU in front of me which does away with the constitutionality of the country. Look, we have the national policy on education laid down in 1968 by none other than the Congress government. We have the national
I'll come to you, Derek. Let him finish. I'll come to you, Derek.
By Sonia Gandhi. The 3-language formula. Now look what has been done in this country. First opening statement, introductory part about aims and objectives of the MAU signed on September 2011. The KVS, that is the Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathanam, has taken a decision to offer German as third language in its school. Who gave them the right? Who gave them the right, I asked today on the Newshour. That Sonia-led Congress can change the third language of this country. We have 22 scheduled. Just a second, I was not interjecting anyone. Can others be a bit sane to keep quiet and allow me to complete a serious point?
Education policy,
22 scheduled languages in India. 125 constitutionally recognized languages. 1,600 dialects in India. And here is Sanjay Jha saying that Germany should be the third language of this country. You have taken this country for ride. Tell me today, Sanjay Jha, what was the compulsion that you were unconstitutional? You changed the constitution of this country. How dare you do that?
Your HRD minister should know H stands for human, not humor.
1 second.
Your HRD minister is misleading the people of India. There is nothing unconstitutional.
You misled this country, Sanjay Jha. Sonia Gandhi misled this country through the back door. You saw to it that German becomes the third language of this country. No one.
Derek O'Brien.
Anyone who is
Derek O'Brien. 1 second. Derek O'Brien wanted to come in. Pavan Jha wants to come in. Limited time, and by the way, if Derek O'Brien, 1 second, Sharada, 1 second, no, 1 minute, if you want to respond to the reference to Sharada in the Sanskrit language, Sharada in the Sanskrit language is a reference to goddess Saraswati. Sharada in the Sanskrit language is a reference to goddess Saraswati. And how sad is it that the name of Sharada is now being associated? The name of a goddess is being associated here, unfortunately, with a scam. Yes, please. Derek O'Brien wanted to respond to Sambit Patra.
And how sad is it that an anchor has to try like this to bring Sarada into this discussion? It's in bad taste that you brought this into the discussion, Arnab, but doesn't matter.
I only gave the Sanskrit translation, not to provoke
My
you.
limited point today is only one. I'm not provoked. Sharada is CBI, that's another story, that's a political game. Leave that out. Let's not talk politics
By the
today.
way, most of the TMC leaders would be behind the bar by the
My only
time you
limited
understand
point
what is happening.
is the 70,000, let me finish. The 70,000 students who are studying German have been told middle of the term that they will not do German.
But why should they study
Patra
German?
Cannot,
Brien,
I don't want to blame ex-government, former government MOU.
What happened to those 70 lakh people who were involved because of the
Mr. Patra, let me finish my point.
Helps you get
70
jobs
lakh
abroad.
people.
There's nothing wrong in
You
that.
have robbed
What is
70
wrong
lakh
with
people of
No,
their
if it is about jobs abroad,
Dinanath Patra and Baba Ramdev
Arnab.
and Ashok Singhal and PM Narendra Modi
doing
dropped the
भारत
relegation
के
of
बच्चों को
This Patra and company, I mean, it's a disgrace to
भारत के
Indian
बच्चों
television.
को
We're discussing
भारतीय
70,000
भाषा
students
सीखने
and
का
you're playing
अधिकार
politics
दिया है
here.
संविधान ने
I want to quickly respond.
one second, one second, one second, one second. Pavan Verma.
अधिकार दिया है
Pavan Verma.
और उसको
Let me make my point,
I
Arnab.
agree with Sambit.
Let me make my point, please. One point.
2011 सितंबर में
Okay, I will let no one second. Gentlemen, एक मिनट दिनेश जी, एक मिनट मैं डेरिक ओब्रायन को अपने पॉइंट को कंप्लीट करने का मौका देना चाहिए, उनको खत्म करने दीजिए, उसके बाद आते हैं आपके पास. Yes, डेरिक ओब्रायन.
Eight point.
No, you asked me.
Only 1 point in 2 sentences. The 70,000 kids don't know anything about MOUs and blaming Sonia Gandhi, BJP, etc. They are in the middle of the term. This is very badly timed. It was ridiculous timing.
Why should they study German in the first place? Ask yourself that.
Look at the kids.
Why? No, okay, that's a mistake. But why should
Arnab, can I answer
70,000
the
study
question?
German and not an
Can I
Indian
answer the
language?
question?
In this
Can I
country,
answer the
18,000 people speak Sanskrit.
They were given a
18,000, 18,000 बच्चे संस्कृत पढ़ते हैं. 70,000 लोग जर्मन पढ़े. क्यों पढ़े?
So Congress should
Are we
not have
promoting
any
Indian
question.
languages or foreign languages?
Today.
Arnab,
You
nobody
have
says
been
don't study
exposed.
Sanskrit. But you can't have RSS imposing Sanskrit in government schools and private schools.
Who's
that
the
is what
president
you
for?
should be worried
Sonia
about.
Gandhi's
You have a
conspiracy
Dinanath Patra
against
running
India
the
has been
ministry
exposed today.
How can you not
no, no.
Constitutionally,
No,
you
no,
are
no, no,
trying
no.
to rob in
देखिए,
foreign languages, the
Ford
third language of this
Dinanath Patra's
country.
book.
It is not about
Narendra
Sanskrit.
Modi.
It is about any
It is
modern
the Prime
Indian language.
Minister who wrote
It may
the
be
foreword
Tamil,
for Dinanath
it may be
Patra's
Telugu,
book,
it
which
may
has
be
the
Odia,
most
it may be
shameful,
Bengali. It is not about Sanskrit
distortion
just.
of history.
Pavan Verma.
Why were you
Allow me.
conspiring
Pavan
of
Verma.
the
Sambit
Pavan Verma on this debate tonight.
Shameless
The question
attempt to
is
influence young
promoting Sanskrit equal to saffronization, and the floor must now be given to Pavan Verma. Yes, Pavan Verma.
Arnab, let me say I agree with Sambit that Sanskrit is a great legacy of this country, and if opportunities to study it are provided, it's a positive step. I only want to ask Sambit this, that please ensure that this move is not misused by your evangelists to give a communal color by claiming that Sanskrit is the language of the real culture of India which stopped in the 10th century AD. And that every achievement that
Pavanji.
science can claim happened then. This kind of irrational,
Pavanji.
xenophobic history, please don't do that. Please pursue education in scientific terminology.
let
and
me tell
use
you, it
persuasion
is not
and
about
not
Sanskrit.
compulsion.
It is about
This is my only
MIL,
request
modern
to you.
Indian language.
The young
Anyone,
of
it may
India,
be Tamil, it may be
the young of
Telugu,
India should
anyone
not lose respect
above
for Sanskrit.
foreign language
Please
as the
allow me
third
to
language of
finish,
this
Sambit
country.
ji. I did not interrupt you.
I understood your question.
Please
I
allow
want to
the young
answer.
to retain their
Yes.
respect for Sanskrit, which I greatly respect myself. But please don't allow it to go in the hands of half-baked, half-literate evangelists who are misusing Sanskrit to promote a
I have got
distorted
your
version
question.
of communalized
Pavanji,
history.
I have got
that's
your
my
question.
request.
Can
In
I
fact-
answer you candidly?
No, in fact, Sambit.
Can I
in fact,
answer?
Sambit, if I may add one
Let
thing.
me- let me
no,
answer.
no, no, Sambit, let me add one thing.
जजमेंट
Yes, please, Dinesh ji.
सुप्रीम
It
कोर्ट
is
का
not about
जजमेंट
Sanskrit or not. It is
1994
about a modern
अक्टूबर
Indian
4
language. It is about a constitutionally recognized language in India. I am not talking about
Yes,
Sanskrit.
so I have something
I'm
to
also
say to you.
talking
Can
about
I?
Tamil. I'm also
Recognizes
talking
the
about
rights of
Telugu.
private
I'm also
schools.
talking about Odia and Bengali. Why not these languages?
Okay, now we are no, one sec. So we are now.
त्रिभाषा सूत्र में
So we are now. I'm going to close the debate.
त्रिभाषा सूत्र में
दिनेश जी,
जर्मन नहीं आता है।
दिनेश जी, आपकी बात मैं समझ रहा हूं, मैं सिर्फ एक बात कहूंगा संक्षिप्त में एट द एंड, एक बात कहूंगा संक्षिप्त में, संस्कृत में नहीं, एट द एंड माय पॉइंट इज दिस that
but
you
the big question, Arnab, is what propelled Kapil Sibal to sign this MOU through the back door? Why changing?
Yes. Okay, so we'll get Kapil Sibal to debate with you now. We'll get Kapil, we'll ask him. Now my question.
Kapil Sibal should answer this country on the behalf.
Okay, but I think you want to put the country together. I have one small proposal, gentlemen. I suggest today, please promote Sanskrit. Please promote Sanskrit. But promote not just Tamil in Tamil Nadu, promote all Indian languages in Tamil Nadu, not just Bengali in Bengal, all Indian languages in Bengal. Promote Assamese in Punjab, promote Punjabi in Assam. Bring the country together. Bring the country together in one way. Use language. Use the diversity of Indians' linguistic history to bring the country together. Don't use one language or any language to divide the country. Thank you very much for joining me on this debate on the Newshour tonight.